Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm talking about eclipses that changed the world. For most of human history, people looked at the sky not only because they used to be curious, but they wondered how this sky can influence humanity. The sky was the calendar, the clock, the divine message board. Kings planned wars according to celestial omens. Farmers planted according to lunar cycles. Priests watched eclipses with a mix of terror and reverence. And nothing disturbed the sky more dramatical than an eclipse. When the sun disappears in the middle of the day, or the moon suddenly darkens in the night sky, the effect is powerful even today. Imagine how overwhelming it must have been in ancient times, when people believed the cosmos itself was speaking. From the perspective of Hellenistic astrology, using the tropical zodiac and whole sign system house, eclipses were never considered ordinary lunations. They were powerful cosmic resets, moments when the normal flow of fate was interrupted. Ancient astrologers such Dorotheus of Sidon, Vettius Valens, and Claudius Ptolemy wrote that eclipses were especially significant because they could affect kings and rulers, nations and cities, wars and political upheaval, natural disaster, collective turning points. In other words, eclipses rarely speak about small personal events. They speak about history. Some eclipses passed quietly. Others coincided with events that redirected entire civilizations. So let's explore few eclipses that appear to have changed the course of history. We need to understand that light in astrology symbolizes order, clarity, kingship, and divine guidance. When light disappears, even briefly, the ancient astrologers believed the natural order could be disrupted. Let's see the factors that are determining how powerful an eclipse could be. The zodiac sign. The sign where the eclipse occurs describes the type of events that might unfold. If it's in Aries, it's about wars, leadership struggles, military conflicts. If it's about Taurus, food supply, agriculture, economic stability. If it's about Gemini, communication, diplomacy, and trade routes. If it's about Cancer, nations, families, homeland security. If it's about Leo, kings, rulers, political leadership. If it's about Virgo, health system, labor structures. If it's about Libra, alliances, treaties, and diplomacy. If it's about Scorpio, it's a crisis, secrets, power, struggles. If it's about Sagittarius, religion, ideology, and law. If it's about Capricorn, government, authority structures. If it's about Aquarius, social movements and revolutions. If it's about Pisces, spiritual change, collective emotions. Another factor is the region of visibility. Ancient astrologers also studied where the eclipse was visible. If an eclipse was strongly visible in a specific region, it was believed to affect that region more strongly. This is one reason why eclipses were considered tools for mundane astrology. Another factor is duration of the eclipse. A traditional rule from ancient texts used to say that each hour of eclipse corresponded roughly to 1 year of influence. So a long eclipse could symbolize a long period of historical consequences. Let's see some examples. The eclipse before the First World War. And this eclipse is about a solar eclipse in August 21st, 1914. What was happened as a consequences of this First World War? Some empires collapses: Russian, Ottomans, Austro-Hungarian. Also German and political maps were redrawn. Millions of people died. New ideologies emerged. The eclipse occurred in Leo, a sign traditionally connected with kings and rulers. Not long after this eclipse, several monarchies began falling apart. Within few years, Europe's royal order, stable for centuries, had dramatically changed. And we can see that near the Sun and Moon used to be also Mercury in Leo. Jupiter was in Aquarius with Uranus, so change, revolutionary change, instability. Because any revolutionary change brings, first of all, instability, because the idea is to change a status quo in the situation that is for a long time. And as you know, the fixed signs are very prone to stubbornness and the lack of need for change. And this is normal, because the role of the fixed sign is to stabilize, to keep it status quo. But if it's becoming too long, this status quo, something can become a trigger of change. Another eclipse is before the fall of the Berlin Wall. This eclipse had been in 17 August 1989. Only months before one of the biggest political shifts of the 20th century. And what we see here, we have also axes of Aquarius and Leo. Moon with North Node used to be in Aquarius, and Sun with South Node used to be in Leo. And we need to remember that this year, in 2026, we will have this North Node exactly in the same situation. North Node in Aquarius and South Node in Leo. So it's very probable that everything that had been shifted in 1989, the leaders that have been born and the situation that have been born in those times will collapse and to let place enough to come something new. The themes of Leo, Aquarius Leo axis, it's about leadership and political authority. As you see, we have many leaders that are old and they are not well fitted and ready for a new era that is coming. They are not fitted to the Aquarius vibe because humanity doesn't need any more of these kind of leaders. And what I'm talking about Trump, about Putin, about Xi Jinping, about Iranian leader, about Israel leader, all these people that their age is over 70, 75 or whatever. They have to leave. Okay, in 1989, communist regimes across Eastern Europe began collapsing. And they're collapsing because of economic failure. And because of economic failure, the people in these countries used to live very bad. There are some people that believe that communist regime is good. No, communist regime is made to fail economically speaking. Is not able to produce something good. If you are a dreamer, an idealist, okay, you have the right to believe in communism. But believe me, nothing is good in communism. I used to live during those regimes, a part of my life. It was awful. I don't recommend. As you know, in November 1989, the wall of Berlin collapsed. Governments that had seemed permanent disappeared almost overnight. And everything that is happening nowadays, this year, in 2026, it's a new beginning of an end, of an era that we don't need anymore. Another eclipse that was 2020 with the pandemic situation. We used to have two eclipses in 2020 on 5 of June, lunar eclipse, on 21st of June, solar eclipse. Also in July 2020, a lunar eclipse. So COVID pandemic, societies shut down, travel stopped, economic shifted, work culture changed, but it was an experiment. And we know this. In this experiment, a lot of people died, in a way or another. But you see, these eclipses used to have been through the axis of Sagittarius and Gemini. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the signification of being wise, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, intellect and mental. What was happening during this time? A lot of people had been deranged of their way of thinking. A lot of mental diseases and disturbing have been happened. A lot of people is going to the therapy, but believe me, there is no therapy able to help these people. It's very complicated. What do we need to take care of it? 2026, to be aware about what new leaders are coming in the world, because we will have these eclipses on the axis of Leo Aquarius. We need to know and to be sure that people that are coming to rule this world in different places, to have some qualities, Aquarian qualities, and good leadership. As you see, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, the quality of leadership is really very bad. Lack of empathy, lack of intelligence. They are thinking about control. They are afraid of people. They have no quality to be our leaders. They destroyed their nations. That's why we need to be very responsible about what we will choose from now on. So, I'm waiting your comments and questions down below. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.